Distinguished speakers and panelists, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to address you in this important meeting on assessment and learning, especially following the UNESCO-UNICEF Gateways visit Indonesia that we've just organized in Bali earlier this month. This event serves as a strategic platform to share Indonesia's strategies in harnessing technology as an integral part of our national education reform. Being one of the most fundamental aspects of education, our digital transformation has substantially changed the way we have transformed the education systems and also scaled up many of our policy objectives. For decades, Indonesian students dealt with high-stakes mandatory tests of the national exam that determined whether or not they could advance to the next grade. We replaced the national exam with a national assessment. And similarly to PISA, the national assessment focused exclusively on students' aptitudes in literacy and numeracy, as well as character values and traits. We conducted surveys for teachers to measure indicators relating to school climate, including how schools manage to prevent and resolve cases of bullying, sexual harassment, and all types of intolerance and discrimination. And in this regard, Indonesia is one of the first countries to include this values-based assessment in its national education assessment. And as we aim to free our students from punitive testing, the results of the national assessments are used by the schools for their own evaluation and improvement. It is accessible for principals and local governments on a digitized report and application to check how their schools are performing against local and national peers. And from this information, they can perform all kinds of data-driven decisions in order to improve learning in their schools. The national assessment is just one of the innovations that we've introduced in the past 5 years. And it's not the only one, and it's not only about a simple practical change about how the assessment is done, it's also about the transformative content and substance. We sent an extremely strong signal by launching this assessment that problem solving and critical thinking are at the center of learning outcomes, not rote learning. And for principals, instead of working on administrative and other types of bureaucratic aspects to comply with regulation or accreditation, now the management is really highly focused on students and really focused on learning. The paradigm shift is a fundamental one, and a very early step in building a sustainable transformation for Indonesia. There are, of course, some aspects that need much improvement in the evaluation of learning outcomes and quality. And I hope that this conference will result in very meaningful recommendations to the implementation of the national assessment and our whole effort to accelerate improvements in education quality. Thank you very much.